Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Reader's Magnet featured author interview, where we dive deep into the world of creativity and inspiration. And our guest for today is the author of the book, and she raises this question. So, you want to be a first lady? So, please help me welcome the one and only Tish Barnhardt. So, Tish, how are you feeling today?
Hey, I'm doing good, Rob. How are you today, my friend?
I'm excited for this interview, and again, it's
I
been
am
it's
too.
been a long time running that this is bound to happen that I'll be doing an interview with you, and now it's happening. And again, to all of our, and again to all of our viewers, though, again, as you can see, though, book covers their QR code. So while you're listening to this interview, I would highly suggest for you to scan that QR code so you can follow along while we talk more about this book. But first and foremost, Tish, tell us, and to all of our viewers, who is Tish Barnhardt?
Well, who is Tish Barnhart? I am the Tish Barnhart, okay?
The
The
Tish
one and only
Barnhardt.
Tish Barnhart. Of course, I am the author, Rob, of two books called one, Morning Tea with the King, and then this one that we see on the screen, So You Want to Be a First Lady. Oh my goodness, what a loaded question, right? And then, of course, I'm the host of the Tish Barnhart Show. So right now we're doing some recordings for season 3, so you guys stay tuned so you can make sure that you are tuned in to the guests that we are going to have.
Ooh, and I'm excited though. And do we have any snippets on who that guest might be, or it's for them to find out who it will be?
Well, of course, you gotta watch the show and find out. I ain't gonna tell you everything, right? But
So
yes,
again,
we actually have some authors, from Readers Magnet
mm,
that have done some pre-recordings already. So you guys stay
mm,
tuned for that. Who are Readers Magnet family? We will see some of that, on season 3 as well. Yeah.
love that, love that. And again, to all of our viewers, again, if you want to follow Tish, though, she has a website that's a Tish Barnard Show. I'll be putting in the links and below in the captions, so at least you guys can follow it up. And hey, who knows? Further ado, talking more about this book here, and for you to at least increase, for you guys to at least know what this book is all about. So, Tish, everyone knows about this, especially in the Readers Magnet family, that we really love and adore your book, and we are following the story of Carol Smith, which is the main character of your book as well. So,
Mhm.
Tish, in your book, though, Carol Smith really finds herself, unexpectedly thrust into the role of a first lady, hence the title.
Mhm.
So, how does her journey from a regular woman to the wife of a minister impact her sense of identity and self worth in this book?
Well, Rob, that's a pretty loaded question because I don't
Mhm.
think anybody, well, some people may dream of marrying a pastor or a minister or somebody like that or great prominence or whatever, but that was never my dream, right? So I
Mm.
never would have dreamed of marrying a minister, as I say, let alone a pastor, right?
Oh.
And so because there are so many expectations that I have seen just being involved in church and going to different churches, seeing different first ladies, pastor, how they react or everything like that. Definitely I could see, a lot of things that, were going on and happening and things like that. And so then I wasn't expecting to see myself there, right? And
Whoa.
so once I had to step into that role, Rob, to be honest with you, it was a little more than what I bargained for, because I
Mm.
was not ready, for the attention, I was not ready for the expectations, one, that are pretty much set, for the first lady, and of
Mm.
course, any family or marriage or whatever is going to have its course of conversational disputes or challenges or what have you. And then the thing of that too, Rob, is when boundaries aren't set, things, become crossed and you have to deal with the parishioners sometimes, of the church as well.
Mhm.
And women, that want your man and all that kind of stuff. And then you're still kind of expected to be the nice, first lady, right? Like
Oh.
you can't show your tail. You can't go, just bless somebody out or whoop somebody's tail. And, now I
Okay.
do have some counterparts now, Rob, that would have shown up drug some folks. Okay.
Okay. That
So
was
most
something.
definitely, her self-worth and her identity, of course, is challenged, because it's like, what do you do? Do
Mm.
I have to play this picture perfect role, or do I just, continue to sit and just, allow these things, to happen and pray and hope that God will fix this and so on. So, definitely, the identity and self-worth certainly is challenged. And then especially when you see the dynamics of the relationship changing from where it was when you first started, to
Mm.
maybe where it is right now. So when that dynamic shift, that means there's a shift in the home as well. So definitely some challenges there.
Well, I kind of can imagine though. Like, of course, since you when you're placed in that situation, especially for a woman, there are, and talking about what you said earlier, there are a lot of expectations. Like, this person should be these goody two shoes, should be the one who understands all the time, gives space,
Hmm.
advice to. There are a lot of things that happen. But
Hmm.
going back to the whole thing and talking more about expectations placed on women who are in the public eye, particularly in religious or leadership roles. So, how do you think women can handle these expectations then?
So, Rob, in fact, it's going to take a lot of prayer, really, to be able
Hmm.
to handle those things. And not only that, being able to find, that someone that you can talk to, that you can trust, to be able to help you in navigating through this process, especially as a new first lady or a new pastor's wife, because certainly it is something new, that you're in. The relationship isn't, because we've all had relationships, right? But
Yeah.
the dynamics of being married to a pastor certainly changes things. It certainly changes things. So I definitely would encourage any first lady out there to really find, someone that you can talk to, so
Mm.
that you can bounce some things off. Because believe it or not, more often than it's said, Rob, it goes on all the time. And there's other first ladies that have seen all of these different types of things and can help you navigate through some things, whether they voice it or not. But you have to be able to find that person. And sometimes, Rob, what I found is that you as a first lady, you don't really want to share, because when you're
True.
embarrassed,
Mm.
you don't want to bring shame on yourself, your husband, the ministry, or anything like that. So a lot of first ladies will go to their graves with this stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They will not share. They'll suffer in silence, because they want to keep the facade going. They want to keep the mask on, because you don't want to let anybody into your space, right? To really know what really is going on. So whenever a person asks you how you doing today, oh, I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. But then once they turn around, like, that
I
comes.
totally understand. I totally understand that feeling. Like, you gotta make sure you got that face. Like, everything's
Yes,
fine, everything's good, but at the back of your head, everything's on fire. Like, I want
that
to get out of the
part is on
situation.
fire.
Those parts, and I really understand it. And and what's so beautiful about this, Tish, is there are some things that, again, placing expectations, putting women on a pedestal when it comes with having their partner, making sure that they can support. And basically, your novel touches on also issues of manipulation and control within the relationship. So, talking
Mhm,
about these main characters changing behavior, especially with Leroy, the main character, one of the main characters, as he
mhm.
succumbs to power and temptation. So, how does this impact his relationship with Carol? And what does this also say in the power dynamics in marriage as well?
Well, so definitely it had an impact on their relationship, because now she sees this man, who was not in this place of power and control and all of these things in the beginning parts, of their
Mhm.
marriage or tenure, really in ministry, so I will go past the marriage part to in ministry. But a lot of times whenever a person, becomes in a leadership role,
Okay.
and the dynamics of that certainly can change, right? So
Mhm.
you have certainly, lots of women, who are drawn to people in leadership. So not just, pastors, it could be a CEO of a company. How many times have we heard of scandals that go on with CEOs, right? They're having
True.
affairs with their secretaries or whatever. Politicians are having these affairs and different things like that. So it's no different for, a pastor's wife either, So sometimes they are going to experience those things. Not everyone does. There are some great people out there, great leaders out there that know how to handle the temptation well. And that comes with setting boundaries, Rob. And
Hmm.
so boundaries are not set and they are crossed, anything is subject to happen there. Right. And so, of course, he's growing with the ego, because there's, women, people stroking the ego and all of
True.
those different things. And so, of course, within the marriage, sometimes there may be kids, work, all these other things that, the wife or spouse may have, and expectations that she has as well as trying to be able to please the husband and please the ministry, please all these other people and all of that,
Mhm.
right? So, of course, it can seem like maybe she's not doing or taking care of her responsibility and blah, blah, blah. So they run out here and do whatever. But, that person has no responsibility,
Mm.
So they can be there for the quick fix or whatever it is, that they may be looking for, and I'm just being real, about it.
Mm.
But certainly the dynamics can change with that power and that control. And so
Mm.
now, that person is in a place of authority, and sometimes they will use that authority, over the spouse, because I'm the man, I'm
Mm.
the
I
husband,
mean,
priest, I'm the pastor, you listen to me or whatever, and I love this, be submissive, and
yeah.
so that S word, being submissive,
Mm.
and so, we want to be submissive as you are following God, right? So we
Mm.
don't want to be submissive to, a bunch of affairs and all these other kind of things, that may be going on. So, but yeah, those dynamics can certainly shift any marriage, whether you married to a pastor or not.
I do agree with that, and yeah, it always goes back. Like, of course, I'm a man, so it's something that's also part of my ego. Like, I'm the man, I should be the one in control. All you gotta do is just. This is gonna sound wrong coming out for me right now, but you should follow it. It comes out wrong, but I do understand the power dynamics when it comes with marriage. Like, it should be both sides hearing both sides. It's not one person supporting just one person, but
Hmm.
both each of these partners should really support each other when it comes with no matter who you are, even if you're a
Right,
CEO, a leader, or whatnot.
right.
It doesn't mean that your wife is obliged to support you only and you just do what you want to do. Like, you as a
Hmm.
husband, you can also support. This is going to be a whole huge topic that we're going to be talking about here, and it kind of occurs to me that this is really a common experience when it comes with women, within this power dynamic as well. So,
Mhm.
but if I would just ask you here, Tish, what advice do you think you can offer to those in a similar situation with Carol and Leo in your book?
So, like I said, it goes back to really having that person that you can talk to. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
guys being open enough to say, okay, you know what? We have a problem. There's an issue going on here,
Hmm.
because sometimes you can talk to each other till you blue in the face, right? And
Hmm.
there is just no, saving it, or there's no compromise here or what have you. But the two of you still need to be able to be willing to work on this. You know what I mean?
True.
To be willing to hear what the other partner is saying, and then also make some changes, right? And so, oftentimes, whenever you just continue to butt heads, sometimes you do need to involve maybe a third party there, to come in that is not biased, that can provide some wisdom, for you
Hmm.
both. To be able to look at, because sometimes, how many times, Rob, we have heard somebody say something like, "Oh my God, that's the best thing in the world you done heard," but your partner has said this to you like umpteen times, right? But it takes
Mm.
somebody else to say it for you to get it, right? And so it could just be the way, the tone that we're presenting it, that we're not receiving it well, or she could just be nagging him every day about it. He tired of hearing her nag, or she tired of him just not doing this or that, So it's we gotta have somebody, Rob, that we can talk to. Yeah, especially when you cannot resolve it yourself. Now, the problem comes in, Rob, whenever you do go and speak to somebody and you don't take the advice that's being given.
There. That's
Nothing's going to be saved if you're still going to go in with a closed mind, right? We got to come in
Mm.
this with an open mind, that I am in this to be able to bring a resolve so that we can continue on and have a happy, blissful marriage. You know what I mean? And so we have to be open minded when we come in. We cannot be closed minded, just thinking that, okay, yep, he sure told her, or yep, he sure told him. No,
Mm.
no, he told us. She told us.
It's
So
gonna be a
what?
we thing. It's not only it's a
That
we
part.
thing. It's
That
us.
part.
Love that.
That
And
part. And that's funny because that happened to Carol in the book,
mm,
Rob. Where we see there was a time during one of the services where a pastor's wife had was given some words, at the end of a service, which of course First Lady Carol was so embarrassed about, and of course was like, "Why in the world would God allow this woman to sit here and say this stuff to us right here in front of the parishioners?" So she
mm.
gave First Lady some things that she heard, and then she also gave Pastor Leroy some things that she heard. Now, all while the congregation is listening, right? So First Lady Carol wants to crawl under her seat right now, like, oh my gosh, what in the world? Something hit the fan, okay? And so then we
Oh.
find that, when it came to the remarks, Pastor Leroy says, well, he's so glad that, the pastor's wife gave First Lady this word, as if he didn't get one himself. So you see what I'm saying? It's like, this is a we thing, not a her thing. You don't point the finger at her like you didn't get nothing, okay? So that was so funny. That's so funny. Well, it wasn't funny then, but it's funny now that we're talking about it.
Because again, it's something that we can relate to, and I do understand a lot of couples would understand it. Again, going back with the we thing and talking more about the book again, talking more about self-worth, boundaries, and the importance of making difficult decisions for the sake, again, for the marriage, mental health, and peace of mind. And you know what, Tish, just one more thing, because again, as we know, though, First Lady, it is, again, to all of our viewers, it is a very good read, and I really highly recommend that to you. But again, coming from the author itself, Tish Barnhardt here. So again, on your book, though, First Lady is often seen as glamorous, but within your book, you had uncovered a lot of things that comes with that title of being a First Lady. So
Right.
what do you hope your future readers to take away from this book after they read this?
So, Rob, the book is going to help people on many levels, right? So, it's not really just about the First Lady, although she is a main character, of course, in the book. But at the end of every juicy read, Rob, of course, there are some great wisdom nuggets, right? That we not only give for the First Lady or any woman, it could be, we also give it for the pastor or any man, right, that is married. And then also, we talk to the other women, that want to be her, that want to be in her position, because we're trying to give you a good look, at what you're getting into, right? And again, let me put this disclaimer here. That does not mean that every marriage is going to be this way. Every pastor's wife is going to experience this. Every football wife. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you will get a good look at what goes on behind many of the closed doors, right? And so in this case here, I think it's important, as a person has navigated through this particular process, Rob, and for so long, as what we saw here with Carol Smith, there was a decision. You mentioned that earlier. How does mental health play out? Because at the end of the day, you are going to have to take care of yourself. You are, because I believe that if First Lady Carol Smith had stayed any longer in the tumultuous marriage, I believe that First Lady would have had a nervous breakdown. And in fact, I believe she was on the cusp of it, until her good friend Monica Save in the book, invited her to a service, and she ends up going, and she gets this awesome word, from the pastor that was there that didn't even, know anything about their situation or anything, but it was hitting home to her, right? And so then she knew, of course, at that point, there certainly was a God. He was listening. He hadn't forgot about her. He's seen all of this stuff, that she's dealing with, inside, because literally, Rob, whenever a person goes through, especially infidelity or things like that within the marriage, you can begin looking at yourself and say, okay, well, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? Or, and even if that person don't look better than you, you darn sure looking like, wait a minute now, what's going on? And for y'all men too, because y'all don't like nobody looking at your woman. Okay. So like, look, I'm glad you own that, Rob. I'm glad you own that.
True. I agree with that. I'm not going to deny that thing.
Look, but my question be this: so y'all be having your eyes all on all these folks out here, and then when somebody asks your woman, you don't like it. Now listen, get that together, okay?
Yeah, hey, there's gonna be something that we need, man. Let's fix our act up. Let's get this stuff together, okay? And you know what? there's a PSA. All men, listen carefully. Let's get this done together. And again, also another PSA again to all of our viewers and book lovers. Again, be sure to grab a copy of Tish Barnhardt's book. Again, that is So You Want to Be a First Lady, available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And if you are tired of typing that up, you can just scan the QR code, or you can also visit on Tish's website, which is www.tishbarnhardt.com. And also, Tish, is there any way, if people can't get enough of you, of your energy, where can they also follow you through any website or social media here?
You said my energy. Yes,
Your
of course.
energy
You
is
of course,
really
you can follow me, of course, on the website at www.tishbarnhardt.com. And you guys, I definitely want you to visit that page. Of course, we have some other books on there as well. But guess what? We've got some articles and some blogs on there that I know are going to help you in your journey called life. Okay. So I definitely want you to go go on there and take a look at that. Certainly, you can follow me on social media at the Tish Barnhardt Show. We do drive the shows there as well when they start coming out this season, but you can see some previous shows right now. And of course, everything with Readers Magnet is on there as well. So if you guys did not get a chance to catch any of our TFOS author interviews and the book shout outs and the roundtable sessions, listen, I want you to browse through that page. We got 2 weeks of coverage for you, okay? So I want you to go on back and take a look, okay? There's some good things on there and some good authors, you know, that we have had, Rob. I'm saying TFOS was such a blast this year, you know, greater than what it was last year. And I tell you, I can't wait for season 7 next year to see what unfold there. But so yeah, Tish Barnhardt Show. You can follow me there on IG, Instagram. You can follow me at Letitia B. That's LATISSUA. Letitia B. Okay.
Love that. Okay, yeah. Again, guys, don't make sure to follow again Tish's handles though, her social media. Also check out the website again, and again, we'll be adding those links in the comment, and the we're gonna pin that comment below, so at least you can just click on it and be routed to the website. And you know, again, as we come at today's conversation though, I just want to take a moment and say this, that Tish, it was a blast having this conversation with you. Yes. And I really love it. And again, I'm going to stand by what I said. Your energy is really contagious, and I really love it so much.
So is yours, Rob. So is yours. Hey, you matching me today, okay? Okay. Or I'm matching you. I don't know. Which one is it?
We're both being contagious with our both energies here. Yes. But you know what? Again, Tish, I gotta say thank you very much. And again, I'm looking forward to see your future works as well. And you know what? To all of our viewers, though, thank you very much for tuning in. And always remember that every ending is just a new beginning in the world of stories. May your reading adventures be endless and your imagination boundless. And as we say here at Readers Magnet, we share your stories with the world.
Bye-bye.
Bye
for now.
Bye, Tish.